Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux-Logelin, you're both writers on Fox's Emmy-winning show Bob's Burgers, as well as the creators of another Fox animated show, The Great North. Bob's Burgers has an incredible, rich array of characters outside the main family. And Wendy, I'll throw this one to you first. Which secondary character in Bob's Burgers is your favorite to write for?
I love all of them. I have to say that first. Lizzie and I have maybe I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think we both have a soft spot for Gayle, who I think it was first in our season 1 episode Art Crawl. And so I feel like we're just so attached to Gayle, and she's so weird and wild, and we love her. And so we're always writing Gayle into everything. And then more recently, Nat, the limo driver, who's played by Jillian Bell, is a fave that we love to bring back. We just love to find out new things about Nat. And she's a real kindred spirit with Louise. And it's fun to have, Louise have a female friend who just happens to be an adult, which feels right because Louise is like a little adult. So I would say, Gayle and Nat, and also somebody on Twitter once pointed this out, and I think is true, that they think Lizzie is Linda and I'm Gayle, and it's very true. So I feel like I also use Gayle to channel all of my fears and anxieties, so it's fun for me. Lizzie, any other hot guests? Right?
I mean, it's so fun to write for so many of the secondary characters. I would say also Courtney is a big fave. Yeah. We haven't done a ton of Courtney episodes, but I mean, just David Wayne's voice as Courtney is just like every line that he records, I like can't control myself during the records. I feel like I'm just like giggling like an idiot the whole time that we're getting his audio, but he's just so funny. And just really fun to like have that personality to play off with Gene. Because I feel like Gene doesn't really get ruffled by anyone except maybe Courtney. So it's pretty fun to write those episodes. So I'd toss her into the mix too.
And Lizzie, I'll throw this next one to you. In your opinion, what do you think has been the key? Bob's Burgers has been on for, coming up on 12 seasons now, I believe. Which I can't believe it. I feels like just yesterday it premiered. And what do you think has been the key aspects to having the show stay so consistently funny and well written?
I mean, I think part of it I like to believe and feel like has been such a great part about being on Bob's for so many years is that we've had the same group of writers almost entirely from the beginning of the run. So we've all been together for 12 years, which I think, Lauren had such a strong, idea for the show. He knew the characters, he knew the actors that were, voicing the characters. And I think the rest of us sort of got to grow the show with him for so many years. And I think all of us feel we're all sort of feel like we're a family and that we are also part of the Belcher family. So I think in a lot of ways we're all very protective of it, and we want every episode to be good, and we just care so much. I think we're so happy to be there. Yeah, so I think it's just, it's like it's Lauren's baby, but I feel like we're all the siblings that sort of, are a little older than this baby. And we're like, oh, we have to take care of this. And we never want to leave this. And we want to make sure that this show is always, our top priority. So I think that, to me, that I feel like it has so much to do with it, that we've all just been there for so long together.
So, and I'll throw this next one to you, Wendy. I want to transition a bit to the Great North. Where did the idea for this show originate from?
We knew, when we started, it was back in, I think, 2017, that we wanted to potentially do a family show, another family show, a big family show. And we knew that we had to cast our sort of net a little bit wider in terms of we weren't going to be, in the same sort of location as Bob's. We wanted to have some of the spirit of Bob's within Great North, Lauren's an EP on it, and Lizzie and I are the day-to-day showrunners on it. So we knew we wanted it to fit into, I think the Bob Central Park Great North family and its vibe, but also where could we be and what could be different about it. And we really wanted to center the daughter, we wanted to center Judy in it. And then when we were like, okay, well, what about a girl in a family essentially of all dudes? And then also, where could we go with this, where it's visually, we're going to be able to grow. We're going to have a bit of a different, palette and look. And Alaska came up because Lizzie's brother-in-law lives there. And when she'd been there, she just got this, great sense of that would be a wonderful place to set some animation because, to do some of the things we do on the show, if you were to attempt them live action, it would be incredibly expensive and people would die. And so you'd have to like toss and turn at night. Think about all the people you killed with your TV show and that wouldn't feel great. So animation seemed like the right way to do Alaska for us. So it sort of was all those pieces coming together. I'm sort of slowly evolving over the years it takes to create an animated show. So it wasn't like this lightning bolt of like a concept the way something like, Stranger Things or something like Monsters or whatever. It was just like slowly sort of putting together the pieces that felt like it was a show that we could live in. That was, Bob's is quite low concept. And I think we're comfortable operating in that space. And so we were looking for another sort of like, how can we do another low concept show, but different? So I think that's how it sort of came together in that way, and then as we were thinking of each character, thinking of what actor could play it, sort of organically grew out of starting with Jenny and Nick and then putting all the other pieces together as we went.
And Lizzie, one of the things that was really interesting about the Great North is that, it got picked up for a second season before the first season had even aired. And was that strange to find out that had happened?
I mean, it was definitely a surprise. But it was also, I feel like it was it sounds cheesy. It was really a gift for us, though, I feel like, because it was, we had our last table read virtually last year in the spring. And so I think we got a little bit of that weight and pressure of not knowing if you're getting a season 2 lifted for us as we, went into the whole next year of, we did our entire second season remote, which I'm sure everyone else on there did as well. But, I think it gave us a chance to sort of catch our breath and really figure out what were the stories we wanted to get into season 2. How did we want the family to grow? And I think the world outside of our family, how did we slowly push out? So I think it was really surprising, but it was really great for us and for everybody working on the show to have that sense of, okay, I am in a pandemic, but I am going to be able to work for the next year. And, it was, I think it was just a really a great situation for us. And
Wendy, are there any things you can tell us as to what we can expect from a second season of The Great North?
Yeah, I think we have some really fun, in addition to, of course, our returning cast and, who we always love to see. We have some exciting. J.K. Simmons will be back as Tess Johnson makes a return with some surprises to offer. We have personal childhood favorite Patty Lupone will be on the show. So that was one of the strangest. It's like we're already locked inside our homes. I was like directing Patty Lupone while sitting on my bed, which was like, not, is a childhood dream to ever meet Patty Lupone, but to direct her while sitting on a bed, it's way too specific to have been a dream. Lizzie, help me out because now my brain is blank.
We have a lot of other, I think, just exciting people. Some that we've worked with on Bob's coming into the Great North world. I mean, we have Ken Marino, who's a super fave of ours. We're getting more of, I think, all of the kids from the school that I think we've met a couple times in season 1, but we get a lot more of them. So we have Patty Harrison and John Early, John Gemberling. Who am I forgetting?
One person who we were most excited to work with was we had Timothy Oliphant as a guest star for an episode. We were really excited to have him on, and Rob Delaney will be back as Nick's brother. And then, just like a little, like some more exploration of the fun world of Lone Moose and the surrounding area. So kind of popping the show out and starting to sort of see what else, lies beyond the borders of season 1.
And Lizzie, what episodes do you plan on to submit for Emmy consideration for both Bob's Burgers and the Big North, or the Great North? I'm sorry.
The Big North. I like that title too.
That's our next spinoff. For the Great North, we're submitting, it's episode 6. It's called Pride and Prejudice, and it's the episode where Ham and Judy both sort of develop Judy already has her crush on Crispin. Sorry, that's hard to say. But they're both sort of falling in love with him at the same time before the school dance. We just love that episode. I think it's Leslie Jordan is a guest voice on it, and he's so funny. It's such a delight to work with. So that's what
He's kind of a cartoon character himself.
Yeah. He would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying he's just a treat.
Yeah,
he's just a treat of a human. And then for Bob's, it's Worms of Enrearment, the butt scratching episode. Butt scratching and school dancing. Those are two.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Wendy and Lizzie, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you for the panel in a little bit.